Hi everyone, it's me Saba again. I'm back with another video. This time a friend of mine actually asked me to do a video on moisture and moisturizing curly hair, and I was like, girl, I'm gonna do it. Also, I just wanted to mention I thank you to anyone who has subscribed to me thus far. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you can count on me to come up with some more videos, whether it be hair, beauty, whatever related. Just know I'm very thankful. Right now I have a video for you on 6 tips to moisturize curly hair. Now, my first tip, it's not just for curly girls, it's for anyone with like hair on their head. And my first tip is to get you a satin pillowcase. Okay, a satin pillowcase, girl. Probably like, I'm fine with the pillowcase I have. No, you are not. You know why? Because because a satin pillowcase is going to help you in aiding your moisture because it helps you maintain your style. Your cotton pillowcase, polyester, whatever it is that you're using is going to pull at the moisture that's already in your hair, especially if you sleep in a pineapple. It's going to be tugging on your hair so it gets all matted and ragged in the back, and you don't want to deal with that because then in the long run it's going to cause you breakage, and you don't want that. So this is definitely going to help because all your hair is doing is kind of slipping and sliding, and it's not necessarily being tugged on any part of your pillowcase. This is definitely going to help you with maintaining your styles. With that, satin pillowcase is really slippery, so get you one with a zipper on it, because then you don't have to worry about waking up in the middle of the night and it's like across your room and you're like, whoa, what happened there? With that, if it's not your thing, maybe in time you'll buy one, because I think that was like 10 bucks. Get you a satin scarf. Super easy, just when you're pineappling up, cover the back, cover your bases and you're good, or a satin bonnet or whatever works for you. Also, if you do the pineappling method or whatever method and you need to put your hair up, get you a satin scrunchie. I got both of these in a set for like $1 at my I think it was the Dollar General store. I'm not necessarily sure, I don't remember, but these help so much in helping you preventing breakage when your hair is up, and it's really gentle on your hair, and with that it doesn't steal any moisture, and I don't have any tangles. Like if I was to use this to pineapple, it like my hair gets wrapped around it in some odd ways, and I'm like pulling it out my head, and that's not beneficial to anybody. Next tip I have for you guys is make sure your leave-ins first ingredient is water. Water is so important. You want your first ingredient to be water because your hair is thirsty for water. Like that's the most essential, the most basic form of moisture your hair will accept, your hair can take. If you put an oil on top of your hair when it's wet, all you're gonna get is, if you know basic science, water and oils don't mix. So when you're putting oil on top of your hair, all it's doing is fighting for that water to get out so it can, coat your hair. When necessarily what you want to do is to trap that water to your hair. And how you do that is on dripping wet hair, you're going to want to apply your leave-in. And your leave-in's first ingredient is water, so it's gonna, cooperate on your hair strands. In comparison, when you use an oil is not gonna cooperate. Now, an oil will cooperate on top of your leave-in. This is where the lock method or LCO method comes into play, because if you're having your first layer of moisture is water, and on top of that you have your leave-in, and then on top of that you have your oil, all those layers are creating, barriers of moisture, and that's what you're going to want to have. Now, depending on you may want your last layer to be a cream of some sort, if you're following the lock method or LCO method, but you may want it to be a styler. This time around, I chose to be a styler rather than another cream, but doing that layering method is going to definitely benefit you. And you're probably wondering, what's the lock method? Hopefully have it somewhere down below what each letter stands for, but L stands for leave-in, O stands for oil, and C stands for cream. And then the LCO method is just a different variation of in what order you're going to apply these products. But I do think it's the lock method is definitely one way of helping you retain your moisture when you're wearing your hair curly. Next thing that I think is really important is to take into consideration the types of oils that you put in your hair. Every oil has different benefits. I remember when I first started wearing my hair curly, safflower oil was like my favorite oil because it didn't smell. I wasn't a fan of coconut oil before, but now that I know all the benefits of coconut oil, I love doing hot oil treatments with it. And with that, I think my next step would be to do hot oil treatments before you shampoo, because another thing is, if you know science, oil attracts to oil and it's like a magnet. If you do these hot oil treatments right before you shampoo, it's going to help loosen up all that debris at your scalp. It's going to stimulate your scalp, you know, and also these oils are going to help you to loosen up your tangles and the little knots and things in your hair, and helping you to when it's time to actually brush your hair out, you know, it's easier said than it's easily done. You know, you're not like fighting with your hair and thinking, man, I could really rock a short Halle Berry do right now. With that being said, oils are also really good for sealing your hair, which I mentioned just before. Just do your research. I'll probably link some articles down below about different oils and their benefits down below that I think would benefit anyone, really, in moderation, of course. Next thing, I would love to just make everyone do this, but you need to deep condition. Now, my favorite deep conditioner, even though it's empty right now, is the Shea Moisture 10-in-1 Renewal System. Oh my god, this stuff is amazing. It's amazing. Like, I can shampoo my hair without doing a hot oil treatment. I can get the tangles to loosen up. Like, I can brush my hair. I mean, it's gonna take, granted, it takes me still 4 hours, you know, in the shower, still trying to maneuver through my hair, but this stuff is amazing. I'm done. I think this is my second or third jar. I'm not necessarily sure, but this stuff is amazing for your hair. But with deep conditioning, you might want to consider balancing a protein-based conditioner and then just, you know, a water-based, you know, what is the first? Yep, water is the first ingredient. Conditioner, because, you know, moisture is great, but sometimes, you know, your hair does need that help to help rebuild some elasticity in your hair and other sorts of things, you know, balancing the two. The one that I was using is the Avocado Keratin 2-Minute Reconstructor. I don't know if that's visible, but I finished this up as well. It's not bad. It helped me with tangles as well. But yeah, I think just alternating the two would be really, you know, it's really beneficial for your hair if you just get on that routine of making sure at least once a week you're getting in that extra boost of moisture in comparison to just doing the lock method or just spraying your hair water or whatever it is that you're doing to give your hair some moisture. Remember to deep condition. Next tip I have is to co-wash, aka conditioner washing, aka conditioner cleansing. This is really important. I don't know if you can get away with this with straight hair, but for curly hair, it's so important. In order for you to get from your next wash day, it helps you refresh your styles, help you to replenish some moisture into your hair, because what you're doing is just replacing from just shampooing your hair again. You're just using conditioner to help you loosen up whatever debris may be at the top of your head, and being able to replenish again, like I said, the moisture, and, you know, getting to restyle your hair and making sure that your hair is well moisturized until the next time you're going to shampoo your hair. But I think a lot of people forget that if you're having a lot of issues with your hair still being dry, it's not moisturized, you're having difficulty, is to look at the ingredients of your conditioner. Does your conditioner have a silicone in it or a dimethicone? Usually word dimethicone is written there. I also have some other variations of what other names for dimethicone below. But yeah, okay, if you want to know the basics of a silicone coats your hair and makes sure water doesn't get in to prevent frizzing of the hair. Now, if you have straight hair, that's a great ingredient. But for curly hair, it's really hard because when you're done conditioning your hair, co-washing your hair, what you're going to do is add in your expensive leave-in oils and creams and gels and things of that sort, and none of that moisture is going to be able to penetrate the hair because the silicone has coated. And then you're going to go into conditioner washing your hair again, or trying to rinse your hair with the sulfate-free shampoo, and all it's really doing is there's going to be layers upon layers of silicone, and that just means it's going to be that much more tough for any type of moisture to get into your hair. And the only way to get rid of it is to use a harsh, cleansing, clarifying shampoo, which is going to add to tangles, and you're going to get aggravated, and you're going to brush right through it, and that's not what you want to do. What you want to do is to have a water-soluble silicone, which still gives you that slip and everything, but with the addition of water, it's easily broken down, so you're not worrying about adding a sulfate into your routine if that's not what you want to do. I will list some of the names that you might want to look out for as far as just silicone, dimethicone based ingredients, as well as the water soluble one. And also I'll list an article down below if you want to look more into the topic of silicones and what they do to your hair as far as curly hair, down below as well. Now the last thing I have to mention is to lay off the heat. Just heat styling, even coloring your hair is real bad too. Heat styling, lay off of it. Okay, heating tools, all they do is steal, or they evaporate all the moisture from your hair. And in order for you to get these, sleek styles and everything, all it's doing is stealing that moisture from your hair. It's sealing it out, and in time, what's going to end up happening is the keratin, which is the basic structure of your hair, is going to be slowly, over time, when you're doing all this heat styling, what you're doing is ruining the moisture barrier of your hair. If you're ruining the moisture barrier of your hair, what you're essentially doing is ruining the keratin bonds in your hair. And keratin is the basic component of your hair. And if you're ruining them, what's going to end up happening is your curls are going to be flimsy, and you're going to end up with pieces that are not as curly. And yeah, you can look up videos on how to, repair those ends or whatever, but at the end of the day, once you create that damage, what you're going to end up having to do is cut them off. And when you're straightening your hair and everything, if when you have these kind of ends, they look frayed, they look messed up, and it's really hard to cover them up when you have straight hair. Even when you have curly hair, it's even that much more harder because it doesn't match with the rest of your hair. And we all are dreading to have heat damage. Nobody wants heat damage. It doesn't look cute. You can't make it look cute. But if you do have heat damage, at the end of the day, the only end goal is to cut them off or do some protective styling in the meantime until you get to that point where you're comfortable with cutting portions of it off. You do have to remind yourself that if you continue doing heat styles and they're continuing to damage your hair or not listen to any of these steps, you are going to be your own setback as to maintaining your moisture, and as well as maintaining and regaining some length. As far as tips goes, this is all my tips, people, everyone. Thank you for watching it thus far. I have a couple ideas for the next videos. A friend of mine asked me to do protective styling. I can do more videos on tips, tricks. I think about doing a makeup tutorial. I don't necessarily know what all of you would like to see. Just let me know down below what you would love to see. Yeah. With that being said, this concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.